Hi there folks, Keywii here, and welcome back to Steins Gate, a safe space in which will be awesome, where we are of course just having some good old-fashioned fun times. So I was talking to somebody about this game. I was talking to a friend of mine who hadn't played it, but they watched someone else play it. I don't know anyone who's played this game, but what I know now is that apparently well, I sort of knew to begin with, but the messages you give to people change the ending you get, in the emails and whatever, and I presumed up until this point that would be, part of it, but, primarily it would be based on actual voice, dialogue choices, but not. The entirety of the choices in this game are based off of the email replies. So, fucking cool. I don't know what ending I'm gonna get, if I get one at all. It's probably gonna get a bad end, I don't know. And we're just gonna live with what we get. So, shit, I'll be right back. Sorry about that, my roommate was knocking on my door. So, what was I talking about? Oh, right, the choices. So, apparently, I've been supposed to have been replying to emails from, the beginning of the game, essentially, and I wasn't. So, I don't know what I'm gonna get, if anything. So, we're just gonna play until, we lose. Because, that's just how these things work. Right. In an adjacent facility, protons are gradually accelerated by the linear accelerator, and the proton synchrotron booster, and the superproton synchrotron. Finally, they're injected into the LHC, where they undergo their final acceleration via a series of superconducting magnets installed in the tunnel. By now, they're traveling at up to 99 bunch of nines, the speed of light. That's enough to melt your brain. Not as dangerous as the phone wave, though. Nope, not at all. Finally, the accelerated protons collide approximately 1 to 10 billion times per second. That's a lot of times per second. The purpose of the LHC project is to study the high-energy reactions that result. Or so they say. We know they're a bunch of stinking liars. I guess that about covers it. And that, my fellow lab members, brings us to the question. Can the phone wave, named subject to change, beat CERN to true physical time travel? There are two problems. One, setting the destination. Two, the lifter. We've already established that the D-mail arrives precisely when and where it's supposed to. Up to the hour, not to the minute. It's dangerous to accept that without verification. Agreed. I mean, yeah. As for the lifter, we already know it exists. We just need to figure out what it is. I don't think we're going to find it. The phone wave's not exactly big. You know. And we've been looking at it for days without turning up a clue. Even if we do find it, it'll take forever to learn how to tune the electron feed properly. How long is forever? Forever. It's not an actual unit of time. It's like the term today. It doesn't have any actual basis in measurement. It's just the way the humans feel. Since we've been working on it for 9 years and they still haven't solved it. We're just amateurs, so it's bound to take even longer. Presumably. Wait, I have an idea. That's the thing, right? Breakthroughs often come from the strangest places. Especially people who, have fresh eyes. Now, granted, some rando off the street isn't going to come in and solve fucking Newton's equation or some bullshit, but you know what I mean. Hypothetically, you're a super important scientist and you're working on this thing, and you're just talking about anything with your friend who isn't into science or whatever. There's a normal friend, and they say something in a certain way that suddenly everything you were thinking about just clicks together. They didn't, intentionally do anything. They were just talking because they just talk. Humans talk to each other. And, you just save the world. Let's look at it from a different angle. CERN tried to send people back in time, but they couldn't get the electron feed right. The singularities were not naked. It's the same with the phone wave. Name subject to change. You can only send 36 bytes of data safely, otherwise you get a jelly man. Let's consider the problem in reverse. What if we could convert a human to data, then compress that data into just 36 bytes? We could send that person through the ring singularity, just like a D-mail, couldn't we? Convert a human to data? That's not even possible, man. Excuse you, Aperture Science did it. Now, they didn't do a whole human, they did a brain, but you know what I mean. And even if it were, there'd be like exabytes of data or something. You want to compress that into 36 bytes? Are you high? I thought it was a good idea. Now, granted, I didn't think of how, but, you know, it is something. And look at Kirisu's face. She's fucking shocked. I guess it's not that easy. The barriers to time travel are just too high. I turned to Kirisu, meaning to ask her opinion, and then I realized that her expression has changed dramatically. Her eyes are wide as saucers, and her mouth is hanging open. Of course. If it works, then maybe. She paused for a second, and then... Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, breakthroughs come from weird places, you know? And my chair is on the ground because it fucking... The hydraulic pipe in the center sucks. Maybe we can do it. Do what? Time travel? It's hard to believe that what Kirisu is saying, even though it was my idea in the first place. Are you serious? Kirisu grins triumphantly in response. The data compression part, at least, is easy. We can just use the black holes created by the LHC, since black holes compress everything they swallow. Compression won't harm data like it would harm a human. As long as we're sending data, there's nothing to worry about. Oh shit, I get it. But wait, can we really pull off such a stunt? Well, you don't know how to turn a human into data, so you know that... Even if you have everything else solved, that hurdle's still there. And besides, how do you plan to convert humans into data? You know that my thesis got published, right? There's no time to flaunt your accomplishments. It's fucking not flaunting, it's relevant. Read the context, my dude. Have you read it? I haven't. I got scans if you want to read it. Derek opens up his image folder, scrolls past tons of 2D porn, and opens up the scan image. Because of course, why would you have your porn in a designated location? Just have it overflowing into fucking everything else. Why not? Sure enough, there's Kirisu's name in big English letters. Alright, let's see here. Announced surprising thesis in the Far Eastern island nation. That's... Why not just say Japan? This thesis, even if it is possible, every man's making to data is possible. It is making each man's memory data. Oh boy, this was translated from another language into English. The possibility is bold and it discusses it in detail. The research and study are that credibility is very high, and it is certain only impossible in the present technology, and knowledge will advance, though it has already gotten excited pros and cons about the content of the thesis, and the theory of saying "gi" is unfolded in not only the physics in the future, but also the field, perhaps the composed theory. Fucking run-on sentences, my dog. Doesn't even have any grammar whatsoever. Hereafter, the thesis, and then I can't read all of it. Hippocampal gyrus on the temporal lobe, and all man's id there. What concretely one is memory? It was analyzed from US in graduate school. Oh boy, this was fun to read. The title of my thesis is Analysis of Memory-Related Nerve Impulses in the Temporal Lobe. Temporal lobe? Nerve impulses? What? You didn't know? No, wait. This can't be right. This title sounds like, neuroscience, not physics. Hang on. The scientific study of the brain. This field incorporates biology, genetics, medicine, physiology, psychology, and electrical engineering. Time to get the Wait, what was it? Neurochemic? No. Neurotoxins. Neurotoxins ready. It's been a while since I played Portal. I'm a neuroscientist. Got a problem? What? Fucking excuse me? I can't believe it. I just can't. From the way she talks about particle accelerators and time travel theory, I was sure she had to be a physicist. Oh, you can have interest in whatever you want. Like, I have interest in space. That doesn't make me a spaceman. No, forget about that. How is this related to time travel? Converting an entire human to data is impossible. But converting a human's memories may be possible. Ah, the old translate the brain into brain thing. Yeah, possible. You leave the human behind, which is probably what fucking Okabe's been doing. He takes the memories and leaves the body. But he overwrites the memories, so you know. Converting memories to data? Here's who proceeds to explain her thesis. Memories accumulate in something called the something hippocampal gyrus or hippocampus, which is located in the temporal lobe of the brain. And all mans. But what exactly are memories? Kirsu's thesis analyzes that question from a neuroscientific perspective. All the brain's functions manifest as electrical signals running through its neurons, but even memories are written to the hippocampus by electrical signals. All memories are, well, not all memories, but like all skills and talents are literally, and like memory recalling abilities are all fucking shortcuts the brain makes because you use that thought very frequently. That's why it's hard to explain because I'm not good at this, but essentially, that's why if you try and recall a memory the first time, you're bad at it because it has to go, your electrons through brain, honestly, they take a long time, technically speaking. But like, the more you do the same thing over and over again, the more like that, I guess, circuit is, think of like a dirt road becoming a highway, so you can get more cars through faster, and even the one car going like higher speeds, and like shortcuts are taken, and you know, it makes it so that your brain doesn't have to work as hard to do the same things over and over again, but like new stuff is still hard. So that's why that's why I'm talking about that. Here's to analyze how specific electrical signals correspond to specific memories. The mechanism by which humans recall memory can be likened to a word association game. You begin with a vague, abstract image, which calls successive image of increasing clarity. Yeah, so, like what I was talking about, that's why, like, it would probably be impossible to rewrite memories from one person to another, because you would also have to rewrite the physical shortcuts the electrons have made in your brain. Which, I mean, you might as well just be moving the brain at that point, you know? That's why you can't do, like in sci-fi, like the mind-swapping stuff. You wouldn't be able to do stuff, or at least not the way it's portrayed in media. You'd still be yourself, I guess, but you'd have all the skills of the other person. And it'd be really interesting. Like, I'd love to see a version of, like Freaky Friday or mind-swapping or whatever that has that going on. Imagine a chest of drawers. Each drawer is filled with tiny boxes, and each box is another bunch of tiny boxes. You keep opening boxes until you find the memory you're looking for. Kirsu discovered that the number of retrieval commands, nerve impulses used to search out memories, is surprisingly low. Out of hundreds of millions of nerve impulse patterns in the brain, only a few thousand are related to memory. It was a successful analysis of these patterns that earned Kirsu and her research team critical acclaim in the scientific community. And now, before you ask how this relates to time travel, there's one more thing I need to explain. I am actually your mother, and I've come to kill you. Several years ago, my lab, the neurophysiology lab... Wait, hang on. Several years ago? You're 17. Several years ago, you were, like, younger than a teenager. Like, several can mean, presumably means more than 3. Like, people say several means 7. It just means, it means around 7. Like, You're 17 now. 7 years ago, you were 10. You didn't have a fucking lab at 10 years old. Don't fucking talk like you're an adult with important shit to do. Several years ago, I was still an adult, but that's because I'm 28.
The
neurophysiology lab at Victor Condoria University developed a technology called visual rebuilding, or VR for short. I do not face with picture machinery such as the video camera, but there should be even the technology that a nervous system pulse can convert in the electric signal pivot if the picture which a simple story video camera projected for structure takes a nervous system pulse to. The test had already succeeded and I registered myself about the patent and it was acquired. I love English. It's so good, man. Fucking, like, especially when it's typed out instead of spoken, because that way, like, you speak with your very clear, like, fluent English accent, or in my case, Canadian accent. I have an American accent, actually. It's just fucking weird. I watch too much Achievement Hunter. But yeah, no, you talk like these really badly put together not very bad, like partially badly put together sentences in your normal thing. Because we got remote viewing over here, and orbitofrontal cortex over there, and sigmoid function, and the Turing test. Look at that Turing test down there. Oh man, look at it go. Put simply, it enables conversion of video data into nerve impulse signals. Using reverse, it can also convert nerve impulses into video data, or any other kind of electronic device. Data. So if we combine VR technology with my research, do you see where I'm going? No way. We can convert memories into data. Not just that, memory transplantation, backups, external something, didn't finish reading, damn it thumb. External storage, all those things become possible. It's like science fiction. In a sense, this technology can be used to copy a person's soul. Oh, it depends on who you ask. According to Karasu, some religious groups strongly oppose this research, as you might expect. Yeah, that's because, like, you mentioned, you're the one who brought up the soul thing. Like, to me, I don't think souls are real, but hypothetically, if they were, they aren't tied to your brain and your memory. They're tied to, like, your body and your whatever stuff, right? So technically, it's you leaving your soul behind, not moving it with you. It doesn't destroy the soul or whatever, you know? On the other hand, the medical community is ecstatic about the possibilities. In any case, it's amazing that my assistant here was able to make such an incredible discovery. Of course, she did have a university supporting her at apparently 10, but still. So basically what you're saying is that we convert the subject's memories into video data. That'd be awesome. Use the LHC's black hole to compress that data into 36 bytes. Send that data through the curved black hole inside the phone wave, and any subject to change. And finally imprint those memories on the subject's brain in the past. What does that mean? It's fairly obvious, but I'll let him explain. Or let her explain. We can send our memories back in time. In order to differentiate it from physical time travel, let's call it a time leap for now. You don't go back, just your memories. It's so crazy that nobody's thought of it before. Yeah, crazy. She's right. The idea is ridiculous, which is exactly why none of the geniuses at CERN could come up with it. Because they're not Looney Tunes batshit insane like we are. But this union of physics, neuroscience, and neurophysiology will make the impossible possible. Transfer memories of the past via cell phone to time leap. Maybe this is the leap that will bring me home. The important thing to remember is that only memories are being transferred. Personality and consciousness aren't included. So, that is a nurture versus nature sort of situation. What does that mean? How is it different from what you see in sci-fi novels? Time leaping in sci-fi usually sends everything, consciousness, personality, and memory. But that'll have to be it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, from Keywii, and return yourself a delightful day. Goodbye!